This is Tom from engineersfordoctors.org, and this is the second in a set of two videos talking about the anatomy of masks and respirators. In our first video you'll find me talking about disposable masks, their general parts, what they're made of, and some considerations around maybe sterilising them for reuse in a mask shortage. And in this video we're going to talk about respirators, the filter cartridges that come with them, and some ways of, if you can't find the right filter cartridges to protect from coronavirus, upgrading those filter cartridges with additional filters to bring them to the spec that you need. Let's talk about the respirator itself first. It has a valve which lets you breathe out, a body which is this kind of rubber material with an inner lip there that fits to the face. Very good seal, very comfortable, and it has ports into which you fit the filter cartridges, and of course an elastic strap mechanism to hold it on. For a medical professional, donning a mask, doffing the mask and sterilising the mask need to be careful procedures to keep yourself, the patient and the mask free of contamination. At engineersfordoctors.org, link is below, we've put together a set of the links to the procedures on the NHS UK website, so you can follow the official procedures for that rather than relying on an amateur like me. Let's talk about filter cartridges next. There are two kinds of filter cartridges. These are bayonets. That has kind of four little tabs on this cylinder here, and you fit them into the respirator by lining up the arrows and going like that until it seats firmly into place. You heard the click. The other kind of filter cartridge excuse me, is a screw-in type. So you can actually just screw the filter cartridge into the port, but you need to have the right type of filter cartridge for the type of port on your respirator. This is what the port looks like on a respirator with a bayonet type filter cartridge. Mostly all the big manufacturers produce bayonet filter cartridges with an egg-shaped kind of outline, but often you find circular ones, and the circular ones seem to be screw fit. That's not totally exclusive, but generally you want to stick to either circular or egg-shaped, and they'll probably be compatible with the respirator you've got. Now these are filter cartridges. They come with like a wide range of different filters that you can buy them in. For protection of medical professionals against coronavirus, what you're most likely looking for is an FP3 mask with some kind of quality mark. For example, in the UK, that's FP3 with a CE quality mark. However, that right kind of mask may be subject to change, particularly in the current environment. So I urge you to check with your employer or with the local public health authority in your country as to what type of filter and what type of quality marks they require. Okay. What I have here is a filter cartridge which is AB1. It's completely useless against coronavirus. It filters gas, not particles. But it's also possible to get filter pads or filtration material that you can cut into pads, which is quite commonly available. It's very easy to produce and very easy to use. And what you've got here is a pad. In this case, it's a P2 pad, which is kind of a medium grade of protection against particulates. So this isn't what you're looking for as a healthcare professional, but it's good for an example. And it's just this kind of folded cotton printed into a pad like that. So you take the filter cartridge and a plastic retainer. These often come actually with the cartridges. If they don't, you can generally buy them on Amazon. You put the filter pad or a cut out of the appropriate filtration material into the cartridge or into the retainer and clip that onto the cartridge. Bada bing. They're additive, okay, so I now have the original solvent filter and a P2 cartridge, and a P2 filter in this case. And you'll see that I've put the rating on the outside, so you can always tell from first glance, oh, that's what it is. That's a really useful trick if you're trying to buy respirators and filter cartridges and things, but you can't find the filter cartridges that you need. You can always upgrade them with these cheap and really quite readily available filter pads. So now I've upgraded that one filter cartridge, I'll do this next one, keeping the ratings printed on the outside so we can always see it. Assemble that in. And boom, I've upgraded my respirator. Donning, doffing and sterilisation procedures, as I said before, are linked from the engineersfordoctors.org website. But a few things to look out for if you're using respirators day in, day out over time. They have these components, the body here, the valve, it's a delicate sheet of rubber right in there, the sealing ring between the filter cartridge and the body of the respirator, and another valve in the filter cartridge, just that flap there, preventing you from breathing back into the respirator. And you need to be careful of the strap as well. You need to be careful because all of these components are rubberized. They're some kind of elastomer. They're either rubber or an elastic type plastic. Plastics like that are particularly vulnerable to breakdown from UV light and from extreme temperatures or long durations at extreme temperatures. So if you're using non-standard sterilisation techniques, then you need to be very careful to actually monitor the condition of that plastic as it becomes brittle, particularly in the valves and the mouth seal. It'll become no longer fit for purpose and you'll need to replace either that part of it or the entire respirator there. So to all the healthcare professionals out there who are having to use these for the first time, I hope that's been a bit helpful, and I want to thank you very much for looking after us all in this pandemic. We've got your back, and thank you again. Bye.